of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Reverend, would you give the invocation, please?
Let us prepare ourselves for prayer according to the custom of our faith. Our good and gracious God, as we continue forward in this new year, we ask your blessing upon the members of this city's administration and the members of this council. Give them the wisdom to work ever forward to raise the good of our community, the courage to always do what is in the best interest of all of the people of Kennett, and we ask that you would bless us with continued success in meeting the needs of peace and justice and goodwill. Amen.
Amen. Alrighty, we'll dive on into the minutes. May I have a motion to approve the minutes from January 20th, 2015?
Motion. Second.
Motion second. Corrections. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. That motion passes. And we'll go into a special presentation. I think Mr. Carter.
Mr. Mayor and Councilman, we have this evening Mr. Heath Pickerell from our LTAP program to make a presentation for training for State Department employees.
Okay.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Mayor and council members. First, I want to thank you for the opportunity to come down this evening and present these awards. I want to share a bit about the LTAP program and the Missouri LTAP Scholars Program, which is what we're here to recognize this evening. The Missouri LTAP program is housed at Missouri University of Science and Technology in Rolla. It has been since the year 2000. It's a program that's funded by the Federal Highway Administration and MoDOT. It's a program that exists in every state. Most states, like Missouri, contract it to a university to administer. We certainly appreciate the opportunity to do that in Missouri. In 2008, we started a program called the Missouri LTAP Scholars Program as a way to encourage agencies and their employees to continue their involvement in our training. One of our key focuses through the program is to provide cost-effective training to agencies throughout the state, and we do this by contracting instructors who have expertise in a variety of topics, everything from motor grader training and gravel road maintenance to snow and ice control, defensive driving, and even basic communication skills. As part of the Road Scholar program, the participants and the graduates have to complete 8 classes. First, they have to complete 3 core courses. One is the basic communication skills that I mentioned. The second is a worker safety, which covers a gamut of topics. And the third is work zone and flagger training. Then beyond that, they're able to choose 5 electives that best suit their job or of what the agency feels will benefit them the most in their day-to-day job. The individuals we have tonight have completed the level 1. We are hopeful that they will stay involved and continue on to the level 2, which then explores more advanced safety topics, things such as trenching and shoring, confined spaces, and so forth. As I mentioned, the program started in 2008. We have about 175 graduates to this point throughout the state. We are most appreciative of local agencies getting involved and seeing the benefit of the program and the training for their employees. I welcome opportunities. Earlier when I was visiting, Randy thanked me for coming down and said he realized it was such a long trip, and it certainly was, but I told him that I love opportunities like this to be able to come down because I feel like the employees don't really always realize just what they do on a day-to-day basis, and that it means a lot to us in the program, and I know it means a lot to the agencies, what they do. And so this is just a very small way for us to show them that appreciation, and again, to hopefully make you all aware of the importance of the program. Missouri LTAP, as I mentioned, has been around for a number of years, and it is advised by a committee which is made up of organizations, MoDOT employees, federal highway employees throughout the state. We have folks like MIRMA, MOPERM, you know, those agencies and insurers that recognize the importance of safety training and other training in order to keep workers safer and have less accidents. And that certainly is the to the local agencies. So, you know, it's a team effort by all means. I always feel like I get to come to these and get some of the recognition, but I'm just sort of the spokesperson for a very large group that cares very much about what we do in providing training for agencies and their workers. So with that, I would like to recognize the gentlemen. What I'll do is call each of their names, and then if it's okay with the council, have them come up as a group and get their coats and certificates and get a quick picture. So we will start with Randy Carter.
Yes, I graduated. Finally.
It's about time.
Shane Cole. Congratulations, Shane. Gerald Gilmer. There you are, sir. Gerald Moss. There you are, sir. And Keith Westerfield. Congratulations. Get the right coats here. Shane. Gerald. Gerald. And Keith. There you are. How do you want them organized?
Like this.
Closer together, that will help you out.
All right. I'll take two, one, two. One more.
Gentlemen, congratulations.
Can I say something? While they're giving awards, it's always great to see this stuff. You know, these guys work hard. They do things. It's everyday life for them. There's never enough of them. And this town has a lot of duties as far as on the street side of it. And from me, I want to say thank you to Mr. Carter and all you hard-working young men there. And I thank you for what y'all do. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank all y'all.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks again. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks. Absolutely. I will certainly do that.
He drove down this afternoon and driving back tonight, so.
See this part of the state. See you all.
You want to see this, especially this time of year.
All right, good job, guys. All right, move into new business. Item A is approval of vacant alley.
Is that going to be tabled till next time?
Yeah, we need to do that. It requires an ordinance, which I've already prepared, but we'll have that at the next meeting. And what it is, it's vacating a small part of 7th Street, an alley adjacent to a lot there that neither of which is being used. The before the Planning and Zoning Commission, they're recommending vacating the alley, and we'll have an ordinance at the next meeting.
Number 7, then unfinished business. Item A, cell phone policy.
John and I haven't had a chance to talk about this. You all have a copy of just a rough of a proposed cell phone policy that I have. I'd like for you all to look over that and maybe come back with a final policy at the next meeting. That you all have a copy of a rough draft of a cell phone policy, which I think gives a little more leeway, it's much more reasonable than the last one that we had looked at.
And it is needed for a moment.
It is needed for Merlin.
Mr. Mayor, can we back up to new business?
Yes, we sure can.
Okay. I would like to pass out a proposal to change our annual financial report that we get to a monthly financial report, and all this is today is I want you guys to look at it, everybody to look at it and see what they think. I want them particularly to pay attention to item number 3 on the annual, where they're going to assist us with budget preparation. And there is an increase in cost with it, but I really don't want to discuss it any further until everybody gets a chance to look at it and see what they think. And then I'd like to add it to old business next week if possible, or next meeting.
Yes, sir. That will be done. Okay, we'll move. We'll go a little slightly out of order. We'll go into council reports. Do we have anything from the council? Any committee reports? I just.
Okay. We met tonight and we actually did quite a bit of business. On the rehabbing and the houses that are being torn down, actually the houses are being torn down. The house at 602 North Baldwin has a new owner, and upon review of the circumstances, the committee recommended that the new owner be allowed to rehab the house pursuant to paying the fee for the title search. And he also is going to get a permit and have a licensed contractor to do the rehab work, and Victor Mode will not really inspect it, but Victor will make sure that it is up to code. And if it's not, then steps will be taken, but we did take it off the list to be destroyed, cleaned up, whatever. So, the other thing, we voted to request that an ordinance be formulated to add an administrative fee to the property maintenance violations, with the money going to a property maintenance cleanup fund. And that's something that
That'll be an administrative fee for municipal court costs.
for the court costs. So Mr. McVeigh was in the meeting, so he's aware of what I'm talking about. It wasn't that clear, but we are recommending that we ask him to do an ordinance for that. And then that money we would like it to go to a property maintenance cleanup fund. The other thing is that evidently the clerk had gotten bids on the air conditioner in the dispatch part of the police department, and we recommended that we take the bid for $3,450 from Duncan. That was the recommendation of the committee. I guess the entire.
I can elaborate on what the dispatch center with all the radios and computers in there. It's a small room. It heats up to 80+ degrees, so it causes them to turn an air conditioner on that feeds the lobby part of the building, which then cools down other parts. And while they're comfortable, everybody else is. So is uncomfortable. So the fix to it is a split system that will keep that room there cooler. Generally speaking, a lot of dispatch centers have a special room where all that equipment is with a cooling system, and this is the remedy. What it's doing, when they turn it down in the wintertime, that coil up there can freeze up, and then when it thaws out, the water comes down, and that's what's getting some of the tiles where they're getting water spots and stuff like that.
You need a motion. I move that we allow this purchase.
I'll second.
We do that,
Can we do it tonight?
I don't think we do it tonight.
We can't, no, I said, it's over.
And a budgeted item,
It's an unbudgeted item, that's $60,000.
So we
3,000.
have it on the table.
What is
Or
that?
just have it
It'd
put
have to be on
on
the
for
agenda
next.
for next
Just
time.
do it
for
up
next
next week.
That's correct.
meeting.
This will come out of capital expenditures, right?
There is a municipal building sales tax that's not being used. So, I mean, that is an improvement to the building.
And also, we've set aside, for you all, set aside in budget, $250,000 of capital expenditures for this year that we have not pulled from sales tax too. So you do have that money available too.
Okay. Yes.
Since we don't have a budget on that, it would not be acted upon tonight.
It's still a non-budgeted item.
Well, I'm just wondering, is this thing causing damage, the one
Unless there's circumstances that we need to do it right now.
The air conditioning freezes up, then it drips and causes problems in the hall. But we haven't had the heater on that's out in the lobby, so we've been okay, but that room is still in the 80s. It's hot.
Extenuant circumstances are,
Yeah,
the,
extenuating
the
circumstances.
buildup of heat
If
will
the
damage
council
your
finds it-
radios and
yeah, if the
computers.
council finds there are extenuating
So,
circumstances.
the longer we go on,
You can do it now.
we're gonna damage radio and computers in addition to continually replacing the tiles, which could lead to mold.
And extenuating circumstances or whatever you all determine to be extenuating circumstances.
I would
You get the hint.
entertain my original motion then to approve the project
Based off
due
of
to the condition of the circumstances. I have the building right now, we need to get it fixed.
Sounds good, Roger.
Second.
What he said. Yo.
All right, there's a motion on the floor.
Second.
That's a third.
Or a four.
But we'll go along with the second from whoever that was. But there's a motion on the floor. You all heard it. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed. Motion passes.
Do you have a preference where the funds come from?
You got the checkbook.
Okay,
Just use your personal account.
Put off sales tax too.
okay.
Cap improvements.
That was still come out of capital division, right?
Yeah.
Yours then. Alrighty, it's still on you, Ms. Sokoloff.
Those were the only things that we had recommendations on.
Okay, real good.
Well, we didn't discuss this in there, but I had a thought after our meeting last time, is that we went through all the departments, and adjusted holiday pay, but we didn't make any adjustment in the fire department. So whether they are getting paid or not, but every employee ought to get the same amount of holiday pay, no matter how their pay structure is. So if it requires investigation and through the accounting procedures or whatever, I still feel like that we need to do that to equalize it for the fire department, police department, street department, everybody.
If they work the holiday and they work from midnight to 8, they get 4 hours extra. If they work from 8 a.m. the shift change to midnight, which is 16 hours, they get 8 hours extra. So we're paying.
If they work the holiday.
If they work the holiday.
But what if they don't work the holiday?
I guess they had the day off.
Sure, you get holiday.
Schedule
Holiday
out.
pay?
City employees should be getting holiday pay.
But in the handbook, it's I mean, there's a lot of things in the handbook that are probably misconstrued, because if you read the one line, and it even says that public safety employees are not entitled to holiday pay. So what we structured it with, if you're working the holiday, you got
We
time and a
changed-
half.
We changed the structure of the last meeting.
We did for the police, yes.
Well, we need to be consistent all the way across. And if one department is going to get paid time and a half for their time, all departments need to be time and a half. If one department is gonna get holiday pay, all departments need to get holiday pay. I think
They're
we have to
getting
be
time and a
consistent.
half if they work the
They are,
holiday.
one group, but not everybody.
Yeah.
So we need to get this consistent throughout.
My recommendation would be we just, you know, pay them for 10 holidays.
That's what I'm looking for.
Or 12, I'm sorry.
Well, whatever, so that, so everybody gets the same amount of holidays.
And how are we doing the police right now that do work the holiday then?
They're
Just-
they're
just-
getting
they
paid
just work.
one holiday a month, and it's reflected in their first paycheck of the month.
Okay, but now we're talking about taking the fire department and doing the same thing, but the people that work that shift are also getting time and a half.
No.
So in order to, right?
No, they're.
We'll have to change it.
They wouldn't.
They would be getting regular pay.
Yeah, the police officers get regular
Right,
pay.
police are, I'm talking about the fire department
Well, if
gets
we
time
change
and a
it and they get the 12 holidays and they get the 12 holiday pay, and if you work the holiday, you just work the holiday.
half. Okay. Just, we have to be consistent.
A suggestion for the council would be, you heard from the managers there, that there's a lot of conflicting wording in the policy handbook.
Yeah.
I think it'd be wise for the council to go in and sit down and go through it, because even in the book, it states that vacation time does not accumulate.
Yeah.
Yet, we're accumulating. So we either need to get rid of the rules that we're not doing, or enforce them. But we do need to take a look at that before we just start
That's
throwing
one of the
different
things
directions.
that Glenn was
Yeah.
doing.
I did not hold
Tighten
this,
that out.
Yeah.
I didn't hold it out this night, I just wanted to bring it
Bring it to
to
attention.
the attention, because I think we should, you know, we let the firefighters out the cold.
So do we have do we still have a personnel committee?
I'm a human resource committee, or not the chairman of.
It goes to Nick then,
That's right.
and your committee.
Get busy.
Well, yes, it
It's
does.
under advisement with Glenn.
Because we have to, yeah, and we do have somebody coming in that's an expert on
Yes.
this, right? So,
Yes.
Well, because you don't wanna adversely affect the firemen, and you'd have to look at how, that might actually take money away from.
I agree, I don't want to adversely affect anyone.
Right.
That's right.
We just have to look at it. But we also, you know, I just wanna make sure too, while we're talking about it, we talked about the police and the fire, but we need to look at the 911 communication personnel as well, do them the same.
All departments.
Okay. All right, we'll look at it.
Yeah, all departments the same.
Well, all right, it's under advisement according to the clerk, so under, whatever. Yeah. Okay. Street, let's go street.
All right, we met last night, long meeting. We've come up with a list of unpaved streets that we're looking at paving this year. We also, we're gonna need to, in a minute, Mr. Carter's gonna tell us, kinda let us know what he needs to send bids out on, so we can look at asphalt and the work this summer. We're trying to get everything lined up for construction this summer. We also kind of have a request that if there is an available, when we start working in construction areas this summer, and start doing construction, if there is an available patrol car that does not need to be manned, could we park that patrol car in the work zone? Because you know what people do when they see a policeman, they step on the brake. And that might be an easy way to help control the traffic with construction areas there. So I'd like to consider that. We have an unbudgeted item that we need to throw out. Would you go ahead and?
Yeah. The additional building where Randy stores some of his equipment is not heated. And so we're running into problems with that equipment that needs to have heat. Like Barney, they're having to rotate out a actual space heater when it gets real cold to keep heat there. So what we're looking at is it's $2,900 is what we're looking at for the materials to run gas piping and put in a heater in that building. And we need to look at trying to get that approved so we can get that done. So it's unbudgeted, so I mean, may have to go on for the next.
But it does
meeting.
fall under our amount that we can spend on.
I think if you can go ahead and do it.
It's under $3,000.
Okay.
And I approve, it's mayor approval, right? So yes, it's,
Okay.
C Utility's gonna be doing the,
Yes.
laying the line.
Yeah, it's just
in.
materials and the
They'll
heater.
lay the high pressure line in, and we even worked on that to where they're gonna have a little more expense. They're gonna run an extra 40 feet of high pressure line to the meter to reduce our cost on the inside pipe.
Good. And you've got, you probably got a $250,000 truck sitting there with water all in the lines.
Right.
I mean, it's just silly to not heat the facility. You gotta have it
Okay.
for protection.
Okay, so get that done. You wanna go ahead and talk about the bids that we need?
Retreading just a little bit, the hiking and biking trail. It came in over bid last time. The engineers and MoDOT have massaged that. How they're gonna put the trail in exactly. MoDOT's insisting that it be either or, asphalt or concrete, to see if we can get a cheaper price possibly out of concrete. But it's time to rebid that now. We can do it here locally, but it has to be posted on the Missouri Department of Transportation website, and that's where we'll basically get our bids from. So, it's time to do that with your approval to rebid that, the original hiking and biking trail. The sidewalks are being done now. This is just the asphalt trail. It's gonna run alongside Frisco from First Street up to the north end of Riceland Foods Granary there, and then it'll switch over on the railroad tracks and go on up to the north bypass.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes.
At the same time, I would like some permission to bid Floyd Street overlay that'll run from Russell Street up to the north bypass. This isn't, again, not, the first one is a true grant. The second one is some of the federal highway funding money that we receive every year. It'll be coming out of that. We'll still have a 20% match on that. But, it's been in the works. You all approved applying for it, stuff like that, but I would like to put this out at bids at the same time.
Second?
Second.
Discussion?
Yes, I would like to alter that motion to include a 2-year bid. Is this, Okay,
Next
never mind.
request.
yeah, we're trying to figure out how we can make the best of our money here, so let's go ahead.
All right, any more discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes.
This last year, we put out a bid for 1,500 tons of asphalt for our overlay work here in town. I would again like to ask you to consider putting out a bid at this point in time. Last year, we were real late in the season to put out a bid for 1,500 tons of BP2 asphalt with no wrap, which means no recycled material in it, that will have some grinding in it. If some of you think back at the point in time when we were doing some overlays, the company came in and ground down right where the intersections were going to butt up against concrete or other asphalt to make a smooth transition from the old to the new. That this would also include that grinding, and that the city would keep the milled material that comes out of that. It's very beneficial. It's a real good mix for us to mix in with the gravel. It's material we've used down here a lot on the corner of Frisco and First Street, where that turn just keeps getting wider and wider and wider and wider. We use it there. It's a real good solid material that sticks together. But as Bill was saying on that, several years ago, the companies were willing to put out look at a 2-year bid, so they would know that they had, approximately that many tons coming in. This last year, we did about 22 or 2,300 tons actually, so it's gonna be 1,500 tons or more is what we're putting out, but we're requesting a bit. The streets that we're looking at could use up to 500 tons of that 1,500 tons. So, it's, we like I said, we used 2,200 tons last year. So, I think this will all work within our budget and our projected